we shouldn't just categorize all these gods or a god just because the Norse god, who is it, Joaquin, a friend of mine was real heavy into the Norse gods, and there's one that's kind of a similar character like Elegua. And anyways, he was just kind of saying that we just shouldn't put them all in one category, and that this Elegba is Legba, Elegua is Elegua, Eshu in Brazil is Eshu, and that they're actually different, they're different entities. And they actually could be, even though they might share something, or it could be a different avatar of that same archetype. We just don't know we just don't know everything.
When you say avatar, can you define avatar?
I use that word because I saw that as a description of that, of what that is. What I understood, or where that came from, was in Santeria, they'll say an Orisha has different paths. And a path meaning it's kind of a different entity. Take, for example, again, Elegua. And not all the Orishas have many paths. Some are just one. That's it. He doesn't have another path, a different avatar or characteristics. But I take, for instance, Elegua. Supposedly, some people say he has 101 because that's one of his numbers, or 121. And they could be from the little young boy to this old man that's just barely walking along. He could be a prince. He could be the man that lives in the garbage.
So avatar actually means how he appears.
How he appears.
Okay.
And there's different, he has different, but they all have different characteristics. Mm-hmm. And when you get into the religion a little bit deeper, because it gets complicated real quick, or the further you kind of go up into it, when you do get crowned, you're obviously the Orisha that has your head. That's who you get crowned with. Depending on what path they had, that path might walk with a certain Elegua. Usually Elegua walks with all of the different Orishas, but not in the same. Even when you receive an Elegua, you might receive, like for instance, the Elegua that I received. It's a kind of a basic initiation. It's not, obviously it's basic because I'm not past priest.
Does Elegua mean like an energy?
That's just his name. That's
okay.
That Elegua is the Orisha.
Okay.
And for instance, mine's that walks with me, or that's with me, is Alaroye. That's his name. That's his path. But say I get crowned, and I'm a child of Obatala. I know that already from another initiation, and that's who I would get crowned with. But which path of Obatala? Because Obatala is one that has male energies and female energies. My mother and father could be both Obatalas. I could be Obatala because you receive and you don't have to, just because an Orisha has your head, that doesn't mean they're your father. You could have a female Orisha that has your head. Obviously, she's your mother, but you would still have a father Orisha also.
What does have your head mean?
Because you get implanted with the secrets or the ache, which is the grace or energies or chi. It's one of those words that means all of those things. The ceremony that you're actually implanted with those things on your head. So those are just terms that they use for that particular initiation. Anyways, going back, depending on which path my Orisha was, he might have a certain Elegua that walks with him, a different Elegua, not the one that I have, and I might have to receive another Elegua that goes with the Orisha that I became a priest under. And sometimes once you get past that point, there's I don't want to say specialty Orishas, but there's different Orishas that somebody might need to receive. A lot of stuff, in different initiations, you receive what's called life readings, or a major reading at the time, because you would get, obviously if it was a life reading, you would only get one, but you get them at different times, and sometimes they're similar, but sometimes they'll tell you something because things change all the time, right? Nothing's the same. And it's kind of like a guide of how to conduct your life, what to look out for, what to do, what not to do, just things like that. And
can anyone get that?
You have to, those, there's some people can give you like a reading that is pretty in depth in Santeria. But one of them, usually like a major reading comes when you receive like an initiation, and definitely there's one there's an initiation called the Hand of Orula. Orula is another Orisha. That one's kind of important, and it's kind of basic to the religion. It's like in the Catholic Church, we don't all have to become a priest, right? There wouldn't be a congregation if the idea was for everybody to be a priest. But we do get baptized into the religion. You receive communion, you receive confirmation, and so Santeria is kind of set up the same way. There's something, you get baptized into the religion, which doesn't usually have any obligations to any of the deities or anything. But once you start getting up there a little bit, there are obligations to those particular orishas in the, what you have received. Well, one of them, like I said, when you receive the Hand of Orula, you get it like you get your name in Ifa, which is, this is where it starts to get kind of complicated. It's part of Santeria, but it could actually be completely like a separate religion from Santeria, but they kind of go together.
This was where the different houses believe differently?
Right, a little bit, yeah. Anyways, when you receive that initiation, you get told who has your head. So that's kind of important, because you know who your guardian angel is. That's another term that they use in Santeria, Ángel de la Guardia. So there's going to be a lot of Spanish. Some people, you don't have to have the mixture of Catholicism in Santeria to worship the Orishas, obviously, because even though a lot of synchronization started in Africa hundreds of years ago, even thousands of years ago, as long as the Europeans had been going down there, they tried to influence them. But obviously you don't need to pray to a Catholic saint to pray to this Orisha. You can just pray to the Orisha. And so it's nice to know, to have that information of, it's kind of like who you are, and you get a sign. It's an Odu, which tells you a lot about doesn't actually tell you about your character, but it kind of does. And so again, it gives you information of, don't be doing this, don't hang out too late at night, stuff that, to keep you from, having your life be as smooth as possible.